Ed, thanks so much for becoming ambassador for Avon Scouts. We're
Pleasure.
delighted to have you on board. I know everything that you do epitomises the adventure of scouting. Tell us just a little bit about why you got inspired in the first place to come and join us as an ambassador.
Well, I was very lucky. I got involved with scouting at a very young age. I was 7 years old and I went right through from Beavers, Cubs, Scouts and Adventure Scouts, which is now the new Explorer Scout. And I got an awful lot from scouting. I've been chatting with some of the scouts here today about it, and I remember the skills I learned about life scouting, the adventures I went on, and they've all kind of taken me forwards in life and sort of kick-started me, I suppose, into doing all sorts of other things. It's an incredible organisation, Scouts. I've been very fortunate over the years, and looking back and meeting the people today, there's an awful lot of volunteering that goes on in scouting, and that gave me that opportunity to do stuff I'd never do. So it's taken me forwards. I've been on all sorts of expeditions, been to the North Pole with the Scout flag. We took the Scout flag to Africa literally a few weeks ago, and we're now going to the South Pole with that same Scout flag. And it's a worldwide organisation which really gives children an incredible opportunity away from their structured classroom stuff to get outside, try new things, abseiling, archery, shooting, kayaking, going on expeditions, whether it's in the UK or overseas. And for that reason, it's a natural thing to come back to scouting as an ambassador, and I'm just proud to be able to do that in Avon. I think in life, as long as you're determined and you have a real kind of desire to do something, I think you can set your mind to anything. The only limits are those of vision, essentially, and if you visualise yourself helping out and doing something like this, you can achieve it. I am a busy job, but like all of the volunteers I've met here today up at Woodhouse Park in Bristol on this campsite, they've all got day jobs and they're all giving up their Saturday to come here, and they're all smiling, they're all really happy people, they're all getting an awful lot out of it, and they've all got tales of what they were doing when they were scouts and in the Cubs. Some of the girls here were in the Brownies and Guides, and they've come across to scouting, and it's just fascinating to see how those people have all got jobs, but they're giving up their weekends, they're giving up their spare time to come and help out here. And you can see the response you're getting from the young children, and it's a real family scouting. So it's an incredible organisation, and I'm just proud to be part of it. We've got 12,500 scouts in Avon, and they are all young people with a real kindred spirit, and they're all doing something which I did 15 years ago, and I'm sure it will just catapult them forwards in life, where they'll take all their experiences forward. And who knows, we might have the next Ranulph Fiennes or the next I don't know, the next great scientist. With all the skills you learn in scouting, it's not just adventure, but there's all sorts of things. We've got an awful lot more scouts who want to be scouts in Avon, and so it's tricky because we really need to get those people off that waiting list and into scouting. And to do that, we need more people like yourself, like myself, volunteering, and all the people behind us here who've come out on their Saturday to help, to come along and get involved, because as a grown-up, as an adult, you've got an awful lot of life skills, and you can come back and you can give that to these young kids and encourage them and inspire them to do things in their lives that they would never ever be able to achieve. The community, particularly in Avon, is very diverse. We've got people from all sorts of backgrounds, all with very different skill bases, and so businesses, different community leaders, people with different experiences, whether it's leadership skills that you've learned in a corporation, or whether it's as a school teacher, or just even as a parent. You know, those things can come back and they can help young children, especially these Explorer Scouts, as they're in that kind of 14 to 18-year-old age group where they're about to just jump out into the big wide world, start getting full-time jobs. It's really great to see people coming out of those communities into scouting in Avon, and let's lead in Avon. Let's be one of the biggest areas for scouting. We're not there yet, but we have an awful lot of work to do, but there's an awful lot of good work going on already. So I'm pretty certain we'll be able to do that with the right volunteers and the right support in Avon. Scouting inspired me, there's no doubt about it, and I think if you're in Scouts now, there's 12,500 of you, you might just be that one person who steps out of their comfort zone and does something incredible, and it's then your responsibility as you then get on and develop your own life and your own career to, I think, look back on where you learnt a lot of those skills. A lot of them probably came from Scouts, and it's important to look back and try maybe one day to give a little bit back as well. So I'm inspired by the children I've met today. There's an awful lot of positivity and energy here today from just the few scouts I've met from Avon, and I'm sure if the other 12,500 are like that, then we've got a really good future ahead, because these kids are going to be looking after me when I'm an old man, and I'm sort of, you know, in an old person's home. I should be reflecting on the things I've done in my lifetime, and I'll be relying on these guys to look after me. So it's really important to get stuck in, get involved in Scouts, and encourage people that you know to volunteer and help us out.
Thanks, Ed. Welcome back to Scouting.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Dan.